The IRS is at it again. Its latest target, well, Friends of Abe. That's a right-leaning group in predominantly left-leaning Hollywood where conservatism is almost a dirty word. Now, nearly 3 years ago, the group applied for nonprofit status, and now the group's been hit with another round of questions, and there's seemingly no end in sight. All right, I'm honored to be joined by legendary actor and singer Pat Boone and Friends of Abe Executive Director Jeremy Boring. Mr. Pat Boone, you were on this show a couple years ago, and I'm so happy to see you back. What's going on here in your judgment? Is the IRS just kind of running a vendetta because you're a conservative group in Hollywood?
Well, certainly the fact that the Friends of Abe, and I was very young, but I knew Abe well. I'm kidding, but we are all Friends of Abe, and we are not a political action committee, never have been. We've never launched any kind of campaign. We're a fellowship. We meet to discuss things and to have a constructive conversation with people with whom we share values, and we don't want to, some of us don't want to lose our jobs. I'm not threatened by it because I'm virtually out of the industry. But there are a lot of people from top to bottom, some over 2,000 of us, who really have to count the cost if we speak out freely just in public about our beliefs. And so we have looked for an opportunity to just be together, have fellowship. We have speakers, we occasionally have dinners or luncheons, and it is just a friendship, a fellowship. So for the IRS to deny Friends of Abe, who are simply for government of, by, and for the people, like our good friend Abe, is ominous. It really is ominous.
Well, Pat Boone, like you, I knew Abe Lincoln also, and he would be furious at this. I totally agree. One of the disturbing parts about this, I want to get to Jeremy in just a minute, but Pat Boone, one of the disturbing parts about this that I read, maybe it's not true, that the IRS has access to the security protection of your website that contains all the members' names. Now, what the hell's that all about? What they do, hack in to find out who these people were?
Look, there are many ways to do that. And of course, we're finding out things are being revealed that were not intended to be revealed about the ways that not just the IRS, but even our enemies and just hackers in general get all sorts of information. For us, it's troubling because one of our keystone principles is privacy. We want people to feel safe and free to discuss what they believe without intimidation, without recrimination. And so this is very troubling for us to think that they may be able to dig into this information.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I think it's important to say, though, if you don't mind, they have not had access to our membership list.
Good.
We gave the IRS access to the aspects of our website that are necessary to see what sort of operation we are. They asked for deeper access, which would have included exposing them to our membership list. We said no. After a little bit of a back and forth, that's no longer on the table. But listen, there's a long tradition in Hollywood. We don't name names out here. And Friends of Abe.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm just this is what had been reported in the New York Times, I think, and it was also off the Newsmax website. So I'm very glad to hear that. But Jeremy, let me just ask you, with respect to your relations with the IRS, what do you want? Okay, what does Friends of Abe want from the IRS?
Well, just a simple yes or no is all we're looking for. It's been, as you said, almost a 3-year process waiting for our determination to come through for our 501c3 status. Whether we have 501c3 status or not, it won't fundamentally change the objective of our organization, which, as Pat said, is just to create fellowship and educational opportunities for our members. We're not looking for a fight with our liberal friends in Hollywood. We're not looking for a fight with the Obama administration. We're sure not looking for a fight with the IRS. We want to know what our status is so we can, like any business, make plans and do our budgeting and figure out how we're going to continue to operate.
And it is definitely, Larry, a non-profit organization.
Right.
It is no threat to anybody any more than a ladies' mahjong group would be, or a PTA group, or a men's poker group. I mean, we're people who meet to have fellowship and fun together. That's who we are.
You know, Pat Boone, look, I worked for Reagan years ago, okay? I was deputy budget director. Loved the man. Had a huge influence on my life. But I just want to ask you this, okay? I understand how liberal Hollywood is, how left-wing Hollywood is. But Reagan had a lot of friends in Hollywood, and I presume they were conservative. Reagan ran the Screen Actors Guild for 5 terms, okay? And he was a conservative, at least as far as anti-communism was concerned. Reagan carried California twice for governor and twice for president. And as I say, he had a lot of supporters. Now, my question is, what's changed in the last 25 years or so? Why has Hollywood gone off on such a liberal left extreme?
Well, first of all, Hollywood and people in the entertainment business don't want to be told no to anything that they want to do, no matter how it might violate tradition or morality, because they're looking for the bucks. But Reagan had this ability to communicate. I mean, there was not only a charm, but he was so articulate and thoughtful in the way he communicated his beliefs that they were attractive. And I just don't think we've done a very good job of, well, of course, we're fending off all kinds of propaganda campaigns against us as well, we conservatives and Tea Party members. But
they have to be better persuaders, which to some extent, if I get this right, is exactly what Friends of Abe is trying to do.
Yes, that we're encouraging individuals in our individual spheres of influence to try to do a good job in making Tea Party or just conservative principles more attractive to general folks. And literally, some of this oppressive stuff is helping us out, because we are approaching what feels like more and more a police state. And folks are beginning to get the idea that if a president's going to bypass Congress with his pen and his phone and do whatever he wants, whether Congress participates or not, that's alarming.
You're right. That's a long stone's throw from what we should be about. Thank you very much, Pat Boone, Jeremy Boring. We appreciate it very much. Good luck on it. That's it for this evening's show.